Are home prices in the Myrtle Beach area crashing?
Are buyers finally gaining the upper hand?
Or are sellers still holding strong?
Today, we're breaking down the real numbers from January across the entire Grand Strand. Single-family homes, condos, oceanfront properties, Carolina Forest, and even new construction.
So if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or building in 2026, these numbers matter because the market is shifting, but not in the way that most people think. I'm Tiffany with the Hereda team.
And I'm Frank.
And this is your monthly Grand Strand market update. Let's dive in. Let's start with single-family resale homes throughout the Grand Strand. And in January, homes closed at an average price of $496,000. That's a pretty solid drop back down from December.
But the list to sales price ratio was about the same at 95.9%.
Homes are taking longer to sell, 119 days on average, and inventory increased to a 6.5-month supply.
That still keeps us right in a balanced market. Not a frenzy, but not frozen.
And even though homes sold for lower prices, the current average list price is $594,000, which is actually about the same as last month.
Now, let's talk condos and townhomes across the Grand Strand. In January, homes closed at an average of $251,000, which is up from last month.
The average list to sales price ratio also went up slightly to 96.4%, and condos are taking about the same amount of time to sell at 120 days on market on average.
Inventory rose back up to a 9.5-month supply, and that still keeps us firmly in a buyer market territory.
And prices reflect that. But the average list price is $266,000, which is actually up from December.
Oceanfront condos saw some movement in January. They closed at an average of $308,000, which was back up this month.
And sellers got a little more this month as well, with the list to sales price ratio up slightly to 95.9% on average. However, condos took longer to sell at 160 days on market.
Inventory went back up to a 12.8-month supply, and that's still a strong buyer's market.
And the average list price stayed about the same at $300,000, so sellers are still testing the market.
Carolina Forest single-family resale homes closed at an average of $468,000, a big drop down from last month.
However, the list to sales price ratio only dropped slightly to 97.4%.
Homes took a little longer to sell at 115 days on market, and inventory rose to a 7-month supply.
Now that keeps Carolina Forest in a balanced market.
Condos and townhomes in Carolina Forest closed at $209,000, up from December.
And sellers did a little bit better on negotiations. List to sales price ratio went up to 97.1% on average, and condos sold faster at an average of 130 days.
Inventory did drop to a 9-month supply, still a buyer's market, but tightening.
All right, finally, let's end with new construction homes throughout the Grand Strand.
In December, new homes closed at an average of $446,000, up again this month.
However, the average list to sales price ratio was 98.2%, which was slightly down.
The number of buyers that received closing cost assistance from the builders was only 33% for those closings, and the amount that builders gave to buyers was between $3,000 and $17,000.
So what does all this mean for you? It means we're not in a crash, we're not in a frenzy, we are actually in a strategic market.
Buyers have more options, sellers have more competition, and pricing correctly matters more than ever.
For sure, and if buying, this could be your window for your negotiation power. And if you're selling, strategy and marketing are everything right now.
And this is exactly why working with a team that studies these numbers every single month makes a difference.
So if you have questions about your specific neighborhood, your home value, or you're just thinking about making a move this year,
reach out to us. We would love to come up with the best plan for you.
And if you found this video helpful, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is trying to figure out what the Myrtle Beach market is really doing.
We'll see you in the next update.